This is a 2019 ZR1 Corvette, the last year of the front engine Corvette, the highest horsepower front engine Corvette ever built, equipped with an LT5 supercharged engine. It is a 6.2 liter with a 2650 root style supercharger on it. This car from the factory came with 755 flywheel horsepower. Again, monster when it comes to a front engine Corvette. We take this platform and we have several different options for you. We go from 755, what you see from the factory, to this car standing behind me with over 1,000 flywheel horsepower. This car put down over 900 rear wheel horsepower on 93 octane. Some of the things we do to achieve that, again, we have several different stages. We can do simple bolt-ons to this LT5 platform to help it breathe better, such as a cold air intake and better exhaust to bump you from 755 to about 900. When you want over 900, that's when we start going into the engine, and we do something like the camshaft that we installed in this one. We have to change the lifters out, valve springs, push rods, everything that can hold the extra lift from that camshaft to make it safe. But a car like this, guys, from the factory is crazy to drive. A car with over 900 rear wheel horsepower with these Michelin cups on it is insane to drive. So from time to time, you'll see videos that we post in the past. Cars, we have to put a different wheel and tire on the back of it so you actually can use the car with the horsepower and torque that we give it. Traction does become an issue when you're putting over 800 rear wheel torque to the ground at 3,500 RPMs. So this car in particular is out for our Sunday coffee cruiser, I'll call it, to go to car shows and so forth. But very quickly you can put the nice wheel and tire on the back of this thing and go to any drag strip you want, any roll race you want, event, or just on the highway playing with your buddies and have a blast with it. The right tire on this car from second, third, and fourth gear is amazing to drive. And again, this is the last year of the front engine Corvette, 2019, and I can't say enough about it. I wish they built more of them, but we build them every day here and look forward to building more. We've taken this platform from 755 horsepower all the way up to 1,200 plus horsepower, like you've seen in someone like Street Speed 717, who is a YouTuber. Oh yeah. As well as many others we have done in film just in the past 6 months. So I hope you can enjoy a few of these just to watch. Please send them my way. I love building them. Once we know that everything is good, then it hits the dyno. Damn, that was perfect until then. God damn, I saw a little bird. This car's fast, dude. It rips. Yeah, it rips. I'm gonna go drive this car right now and get some more action out of it. Again, these cars from the factory are a handful to drive with 3 pedals. Those of you that haven't driven anything with 755 horsepower, the traction control and the suspension and everything on this car does make it drivable. But with the factory Michelins on it, even with this car stock, you know, making roughly 600 rear wheel horsepower, let's call it, we'll spin the tires with traction control off. Now, you keep traction control on, everything will keep you in your lane. But yes, it will be, the computer will be correcting for torque management with timing and throttle and boost to try to keep you safe in one lane. When we put 900, 1,000, 1,200 plus horsepower to these cars, obviously we have to upgrade drivetrain components, fuel system components, and other things to keep it reliable. But not making the horsepower is one thing on the dynamometer, putting it to the ground is the other. And today we're test driving the car with, I call it his weekend toy wheels and tires on it. So it has the Michelins on it right now. When he wants to go to an event like a roll racing event, a drag strip, or a roll race with one of his buddies, he does have another wheel and tire to put on this car, like you see in some of our other videos that we do. Whether it be a Toyo 888 is good for street and track use. The Mickey Thompson that we use is more of like a track tire, but we also do use it on the street to keep a car like this hooked up. So I just kind of want to show you how nice this car drives in this form. I will get on it a little bit with traction control on, obviously, because of the tires that we're on, just so y'all can hear it. But this car making over 900 rear wheel horsepower, we can literally hop in this thing from Houston, Texas, and drive it all the way to New York or Maine or California without any issues. Now, I don't want to put that many miles on a beautiful car like this. Some of you may at home, but for the most part, this thing is meant for a weekend toy. So our 900 horsepower package does not include the cam. So the way this thing is rocking at idle right now is with our 1,000 and up horsepower package, which includes the camshaft. And some customers have done the 1,000 and 1,200, and they didn't want the car to shake quite like this side to side. So we custom grind dang near every cam we do per the customer's request or how they're going to use and drive the vehicle. Several customers have said that they didn't want the car to rock like this, so we do what we call like a stealth camshaft to give us the extra horsepower that we need, but then to also keep the car idling nice and smooth. Then we have other customers that say, I want the car to shake as hard as possible, and I want to hear the cam as much as possible. So we do more of a camshaft like this, where you can see the RPM is raised up to about 850, 900 RPM. You can feel the car shaking at idle, which I absolutely love. And the sound of this car is incredible. And another reason why I love this car, the exhaust we do, you have a full long tube header, high flow cats, all the way back to your axle, which is a factory muffler. Yes, I said we keep factory mufflers on this package and on this vehicle. The reason is, with the flaps open, it has an electric, I'll call it electric cutout from the factory. It has a dual mode muffler, meaning you can close the flap when you're driving, and all the exhaust runs through the muffler, which makes it sound like a stock vehicle. And then when you're racing the vehicle, you can open the exhaust, open the flap, and all the exhaust bypasses the muffler, which is how we're driving it right now. The reason I keep selling the package like this is whether, again, it's you just having fun on the weekends, or you and your wife or you and your buddy are out on the highway for a long distance drive, you literally can shut the baffle, and this car sounds, even with this package right now that we're currently in, will sound and drive like a stock car on the highway. You have no drone or anything to it. Oh, it sounds so good. And these cars do come from the factory with rev match. I don't know if y'all can see it. See, we're in second gear. You tap it, it turns yellow. So I want to downshift into first. It automatically does it. I go from third, and then let's say we're coming up to a turn, if we're like road racing the car, clutch in, like does it all by itself. Sounds so cool. And then yeah, the Burple tune people ask for. It accelerates so quick, and guys, I am very, very softly rolling into the throttle with these tires on the car, because again, this thing makes over 800 foot-pounds of torque, and I want to keep this thing in one piece. And grabbing fourth gear, it just keeps throwing you back in the seat. This car is a blast to drive because the horsepower and torque is instantaneous. As soon as you step on the throttle on this car, you feel it. It's not like there's no turbo lag. A centrifugal supercharger is a linear horsepower curve, where as horsepower, or as RPM climbs, so does horsepower. With this 2650 on it, as soon as you step on the throttle, if y'all are watching the boost gauge down here, if I'm in, let's just third gear like this, at 2500 RPMs, quickly makes 10 pounds of boost. That's 750 plus rear wheel torque. And again, people have asked, they call it the Burple tune, they ask what it is. When the engine decels, let's see if I can get it. Hear all the popping and banging when it decels. The raw fuel, the unburned fuel going through the exhaust, lighting up. This one, we kept it very monotone when it comes to that. Some customers want that very excessive, and we can do things with the timing table and fuel to make it pop and bang a lot under decel. I love that tap up and tap down, but Garrett did not want that. He just wants it to be a nice weekend toy that he can enjoy, even with these wheels and tires on it. And then if he wants to go out and play with his friends, he has another set of wheels and tires to put on it that he won't have to fight traction in the lower gears, like first, second, and third gear. But I'm gonna turn around now. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm gonna go pick up Jason and head back to the shop. Three-pedal car is so much fun to drive. You'll see the traction control light just flashing. I rolled into it in second gear, and you can see how it comes in. And if I was logging it, I could show you all on the screen where it's pulling timing out, kills the throttle, and even kills the boost. Absolutely love this car. This platform, again, in my opinion, best Corvette GM ever built. And I'm sorry, and I even own a 2023 C8 Z06. I've yet to add this much horsepower to it yet, but we're getting there, and maybe one day it'll change my mind, but for right now, this car is still king of the Corvettes.